back to Red Hawk Media. Today we're taking a look at part 2 of our sprite animations. What we did the last episode is we created 8 different movie clips here. We've got, just to kind of reiterate what's going on here, we've got an idling right movie clip, we've got an idling left movie clip, running right and running left, and then we've got jumping right, jumping left, and then we've got the sliding right and sliding left. So we've got 8 different clips. The trick now is to get these all combined together into one thing. Okay, and that's what we're working on now. So I'm going to go ahead and very quickly, I'm going to leave that character on there because we're going to use that code. And let's create yet another movie clip. And this will be like the almighty movie clip of them all because it will be the compilation of all 8. So let's go ahead and grab our brush tool, actually, and make sure that we're on black here for the color. And then we're just going to make the tiniest of dots right there. That's our movie clip. Okay, now what I'm going to do is grab the pointer tool, and I'm going to select around that so I get all of it. Alright, and then I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to convert it to a symbol. And let's call this char, and we'll call it char overall. Okay, because it's the one. And we make sure that's movie clip, registration is on the bottom, and we click OK. And now at this point we are ready to go into the movie clip. Before we do so, though, we're going to start with the right side first every time. So just remember that. So I'm going to start with idle right, and I'm going to Command X. So I'm going to cut that. There we go. And now I'm going to go into that movie clip. All right. Once we're in the movie clip, we're going to go ahead and paste what we just cut onto the very first frame of this movie clip. So you can see I've got the first frame selected, and I go Command V. There he is. And we're going to go ahead and line them all up here. And this is kind of nice because I can use the plus signs here, get everything all lined up. So I'm using my arrows once again, and get this all squared away. There we go. Okay, so that's the first frame. Idle right, once again, is the first frame. The second frame, which I can go ahead and I create a blank keyframe here, insert blank keyframe. The second one is actually going to be idle left. So to get to that, I got to go back to scene 1. I'm going to grab idle left, and then, where's that? Yeah, that's idle left, I guess. And we're going to go Command X and go back into that movie clip. Alright, here we are. In that movie clip, we select our second frame now very carefully. Okay, and we go Command V. Now we're going to take this guy up there, and we're going to paste him right up in there and move him. Okay, let's get them all lined up. Plus signs, once again, are very helpful for this. And that looks pretty much good. Let's create our next blank frame, get prepped here. Alright, and then let's go back to scene 1. Now, for the third frame that we're going to be pasting into, we want to grab running right. Okay? This has to be exactly in the same order here, otherwise your keystrokes are not going to match up to the code, and the wrong animations are going to happen. Once again, I hit Command X, I go back into the overall movie clip, go to the third frame, and I'm going to go Command V and paste that in there. Alright. Now I'm going to get that lined up. We'll go back, we'll create our keyframe, insert blank keyframe, back to scene 1, grab running left, Command X, go back into that keyframe, for that movie clip. Alright, go to the fourth frame, paste it on there. Always remember to select your frame first. It's easy to forget that part. And let's line it up using the arrows here. Slow as molasses. Okay, and we've got that. Excellent. Blank keyframe. Now, the next step, I gotta remember this now, insert a blank keyframe. Let's go back to scene 1, is our jumping. Okay? We're gonna go up to the jumping here, make sure that we only select the jumping, Command X, get rid of him, go back into the overall clip, and this goes on to frame 5. We're up to frame 5 at this point, and I select frame and paste. And again, we always start with the right motion first. There we go. And let's go back. Scene 1. Got it. And now, at this point, we're going to go ahead and hit Command X and get that jumping left. We're going to go in here. I forgot to create my blank keyframe, no matter. And let's go ahead and paste onto that and line it all up. Again, let's speed this up here a little bit. There we go. And we're going to line up the plus signs. There we go. Looking good so far. And now the final two, insert my blank keyframe, we've got the sliding. So once again, I'm going to start with sliding right, Command X, double click in here, select that frame, and paste. Alright, let's get him all put together here. And this is pretty slick because each frame is actually going to coincide with a piece of code. Alright, go back to scene 1. And we've got one final one here. Let's select it, Command X, go back in. And this is our last blank frame that we have to enter here, folks. And let's paste. One of these ears will get there. There we go. And boom. All right, now, before we go any further, while we're here, we've got some actions that we have to add on to each of these movie clips. Okay, so so that they don't all play at once, like simultaneously, and get really, really crazy. We're still in our char overall movie timeline, and I just selected frame 1, and I'm going to take off my onion skin, and I'm going to right click on frame 1, and I'm going to go to the actions. Now, so that it doesn't start playing right away, we're going to type a really simple piece of code here, and that's it. Stop, open and close parentheses, and then semicolon. Okay, and I'm just going to copy that because I'm going to be redoing this on each and every frame here. So I'll go ahead and select the next frame while this window is still open. Okay, and then I click in here and I paste it in there. And then I go to frame 3, click in there, paste it, and we do this to each and every one. You can see after you add the actions, it adds that little icon onto the frame, the A above the keyframe there, showing us that we've got it. That way, if you miss anything, it's kind of a dead giveaway, and there we have it. Now, each of these frames has its own piece of code on it. Oh, yes, we would like to say thank you. I appreciate that. All right, now, we're going to do something else here that's equally as important, starting with frame 3. Okay, so with the third frame, this is actually the running right. Now, when he stops running, when he stops that movie action, we want him to actually be facing to the right side when he's done. This is why we created each one of these as a separate symbol so that we can identify it in the code. And I'll show you what I mean exactly. So we're on the third frame. Okay, we're going to actually double click on that one. So now, if we look at our timeline here, we got scene 1. We're in the overall timeline, but we're focusing on the running right animation timeline. So here's our running right animation. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to click on frame 10, the very last one. And yours may be different. It may be frame 8, 9, 10, depending on how many sprites you have. But click on the last one, and you're going to add some actions to that frame. So I click some actions here. And now at this point, this is a little bit more involved. We're going to go underscore. Okay, that is shift and dash. And we've got root and dot char. That's our instance name for our character. Go to and stop. So this is telling us after this animation is done, it's actually going to go to frame 1 of our overall movie clip. Okay? Now we're going to frame 1 because that is the right idle movie clip. So if he's running to the right and he stops suddenly, he will now be facing to the right when he's done. Okay? And if that makes no sense, no worries. Okay? I'm just going to copy that because I'm going to have to do this a couple times. So I'm going to go Command C. And we can close that. We're going to go back to the character overall. Okay, and now we're going to go to frame 4, which is running left. I'm going to double click on the movie symbol. And in here, I've got all my animations for running left. I choose the last keyframe, and I'm going to add some actions to it. And very quickly, I'm going to paste what I had copied before. Okay, just save some time. And this time, since he's running left, I want him to actually stop on the second frame of our movie timeline, which is the idle left, which makes sense. Perfect. So let's go ahead and close that. Go back to character overall. And now we've got just a couple more of these. We've got the jumping right, I believe, is next. We're going to double click into that. Yep, char jump right. And you can see his jumping motion here. And now we're going to right click, add an action. Paste in the similar code. This one is all set because we want him to go to frame 1 because he'll be facing to the right when he jumps right. So he'll idle right when he lands. And going on here. Go back to overall. Next frame, which is jumping left. Double click on it. Go into the last frame. Add those actions. I'm sorry for all the play-by-play. This is a lot of intricate steps here. Okay, and let's paste into there. Now this one, he is jumping to the left. So we actually want him to end on frame 2, which is idle left. Okay, close that up. Back to overall. Now just 2 more. Alright, this is sliding right. Double click on that. Go to the last frame. Actions. There we go. And we're going to paste in here. And that one's all set because he'll be idling right when he's done. Go back to the character overall. Last and final movie clip here, which is sliding left. And on the last frame, add our actions. And paste. Now this one I have to change to 2 because he will be idling left. Alright. Now, I hope that was all clear for you. Let's go back to character overall and back to scene 1. Okay, and there's one last step that we have to do here. I've got my character, and actually this code will be in the description for you. I'm just going to steal it from here because I already added onto this character. Go to my actions. Okay, and I'm going to copy this code over here. This code is slightly different than your previous code that you had for your character because it's adding in some elements of friction, and he'll actually slide, and there's a few more variables that you can actually adjust here. So I'm going to right click on my new character, alright, and I'm going to add those actions onto him. Again, this code, you can copy it from the description. Alright, and I'm going to paste that in there. All set. Make sure I didn't get anything extra in there. We're all good. Close that up. And final thing here. Let's go ahead and make sure that our character, our symbol is selected here. And we're going to go over here for our instance name and type CHAR. And we saw that in our code. Let's go ahead and get rid of the old character and bring the new one into place. And he's going to be ginormous here, but that's okay. And let's go ahead and give it a go, see if everything works properly. I probably missed a step. Alright, and command return. Whoa. Awesome. Okay, so Indie Kid is now in there. I like Indie Kid instead of the Temple Run Kid. And now he will run to the right. He's running to the left. He's sliding to the right. He's sliding to the left. And he jumps to the right. Now, he's got a really small jump for how big he is here. So, at this point, what I would recommend is go into those character settings. So I'm going to right click on the character again, go into the actions, and this right up here are all my variables for the different things that I can adjust. My max speed, my max jump, those are some ones that you might want to start with to actually get your character to jump a little bit higher, move a little bit faster, and all of those things. Experiment with these, see what you can come up with, and you know, each game has got its unique physics to it, so have fun with it. Alright, well, that's another episode of Red Hawk Media. Thanks for joining us. Bye.